Anime Summit, episode 50.
It jumps around too much, and it ends up getting diluted. And I get what's going on.
Do you really?
No, actually, I don't. I don't get what's going on. You're right.
Hello, and welcome to the Anime Summit podcast. I'm Quokka. With me, I've got Nick.
Yeah.
Psalm.
Hi.
And Mac.
Wow, low effort.
Awesome. So later in the episode, we're going to be talking about... What are we talking about again? Audience expectations, pandering, and...
Plausibility.
Plausibility. But first, I want to talk about on Friday at, 7 p.m. Pacific or 9 Eastern? We're going to be doing another live stream. It won't be that animu related. We're going to be playing Dead or Alive Extreme 3. Just hanging out, looking at CG boobies, and playing volleyball.
Sounds like the usual
and talking
day
about
for
stuff.
me.
Yeah, sounds like a normal day. And also, shout out to Tamakimoto on Twitter for sending us a nice picture of Mike Ditka as a magical girl.
Hey, that picture was awesome. I fully endorse that. I fully endorse that.
Funny.
Yeah,
I saw that and I busted out laughing. I was at work and I was on lunch and I open up my phone and there it is and I'm like, that's perfect. If I ever envisioned if I ever envisioned Mike Ditka as a magical girl, he'd probably look a little bit like that.
And he would do the Sailor Chibi Moon attack. Well, I forgot how it goes. Be like true love hearts. I don't know what she says, but something funny.
Yeah, we'll be streaming on Friday, and there'll be tweets and stuff on YouTube and things on the intertubes.
On the intertubes, interwebs.
On the intertubes of life, there's going to be notifications and things. But what have you guys been up to before we get to the main topic?
Watching Food Wars, bro. Super.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
Super late on it, I know, but
dude, who's best girl, Sam?
oh, dude, that's so hard. It's so hard.
Kokoro, duh.
I don't think I'm that far to know who that is yet.
Dude, that blonde bitch is my favorite.
No.
Well, actually, I might be.
What's her
Megumi,
name?
Man.
Oh yeah,
Megumi,
Todokoro. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the lame answer.
No, yeah.
The
I
lame
think
answer.
for me, okay, no. To be honest, for me at first, I went back and forth for a while because at first it was Best Husbando, Ishiki-kun, and then it was
Yes.
Mito-san, the butcher, and then it went to Alice.
Arena, yeah, everyone says Alice.
Arena's
All
cousin.
the cool kids do.
But then I saw how much of like a snide bitch she was, and I was like, "Oh, fuck you!" So then I went back to Mito-san because she was.
Who the fuck is Mito-san? Seriously, I'm looking on the characters. I don't even see him.
Mito-san.
She's the butcher.
Niku.
She carries like the cleaver.
Nikumi. Yeah,
they call her Nikumi.
She has the.
They call her Nikumi, and she hates it.
She has the
the American girl with
flag
the
bikini.
huge boobs,
Yeah.
and she never wears a shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
She cooks meat and she doesn't wear a shirt.
Yeah, so they call her Mito, and her name is Niku,
man.
which is meat. Well, Nikumi, which
Fun
is meat
fact.
in Japanese.
And all the dojins, Arena gets raped.
Jeez.
That's not a fun
More
fact.
importantly,
It's not
there's a
very fun,
dojin
but
where Todokoro marinates an eggplant in her vagina.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that didn't take us long. Congratulations.
That's the end of the
Quokka.
episode, guys. We can't go any higher from here.
God.
Somehow
Nowhere to go.
I think you're gonna find a way, Quokka. I mean, you are the guy who asked us if we would drink a gallon of lady jizz.
I
So-
don't remember
You did-
doing
you
that.
did.
There
Yeah,
is
you did.
that.
You did. It was a really weird question, and it came out of nowhere, and we don't know what happened. But no, I would say Mito-san. Anyways, Food Wars.
Oh,
is
I
awesome.
thought you were gonna say, "Oh, I would say I would." I didn't know where that was going.
Oh no, I totally would. Yes.
Well, I'm not
But-
against it. How thirsty am I?
How thirsty.
In this hypothetical situation, how thirsty am I?
But yeah, no, Food Wars is awesome. Getting hyped for season 2. I think it's really nice show. It really clutch. It does a really good job of overhyping you, and I think that's really cool. So whatever. Anyways, that's what I
That's
Plus,
would
it's
do.
shonen.
got honey octopus tentacles.
And I've been getting back into
or
fighting
peanut
games.
butter tentacles.
Namely, like, there's a couple of anime fighting games on Steam that are on sale that I want to play. But I've been trying to get back into Skullgirls, which is a sweet game. So you guys should play that. It's awesome.
I would, but I cannot play fighting games. I really can't.
Dude, I hate it
I
unless I,
suck
know all
them.
the moves. Yeah, I can't do it unless I know
suck at
everything.
them.
Actually, Nick got really good at Smash Brothers. Me and
I was like, I was okay.
Me and Nick
I was
got-
never that good.
I think it was just like if you played Link, then you were like really awesome. But like,
No, I was good at like Brawl. I was never good at Melee. Melee is like the true.
nah,
like,
Melee
you gotta be
sucks.
hardcore to play
Dude,
that
Brawl's
shit,
better.
dude.
Nah, Brawl's better.
In Melee,
No, Brawl
I
Plus
would
is
just
better.
be Sheik. Sheik and juggle. Just juggle with Sheik. That'd be how I did it.
Psh.
Sheik's air game was on
Mirrors
point.
all day,
See,
baby.
you just
Final
play
Destination.
Pikachu and you down B. That's all you got to do. Just down B.
You just DK and grab and jump off the edge.
Down B, freaking up smash, down B again, watch them cry. That's all you need.
Okay. So
Nice.
first topic is expectations like of anime.
Are
Like,
we doing
what are
best
some-
girl?
Oh right.
Should we just do the one from
right,
Food Wars?
right. Waifu of the week.
Best girl of the week is Inaba Himiko from Kokoro Connect. If you've never seen that anime, I highly recommend that you do. The story isn't too awesome, but hey, the characters are great, and that's what brings us to Inaba.
It's all about
She's-
sex.
Well, I mean, there is the infamous GIF that likes to circulate on the
There we
Reddits.
go, fucking.
Oh yeah, where they're masturbating, talking.
Yeah, whenever
Something.
she whispers to him
Hey,
that I've
remind me I need to go
masturbated to
see
you
my-
too.
And remind me, I need to go see my grandmother later.
You're
You're Dran.
what? What does
You
that?
gotta
What does
turn
that
all-
have to do
turn all
with
G's
Inaba?
into J's.
What does that have to do?
Just
I'm
gotta-
I don't know. So I'm just being fucking
GIF.
dumb.
GIF. Yeah,
Oh, GIF. Oh God, yeah.
I say that just to make you angry.
I
I
know.
really do. You and
does
Cam
make me
check us both.
All right, moving on. Best girl, Inaba.
Best girl Inaba Himiko.
She's cute. I like her.
She is. I mean, her personality is phenomenal. I love the personality.
Oh, I don't know anything about her personality.
It's great. You should watch it.
It doesn't matter. Let's be honest. Only the character design matters, right?
Yes, only character design matters.
That includes real life. You have to go up to real people and say, "You have a good character design."
That's why I love Sword Art Online.
That's a good way to get punched in the dick.
Main topic, fellas. Let's click on my notes and look at the topic title.
Oh my God, this is the worst transition ever. I've got this. All right,
Plausibility
so
in
for the
anime.
first topic of this week, we're going to be covering. Yeah, sure. Let's do plausibility in anime. In other words, how does the aspect of suspension of disbelief, or is this
Verisimilitude,
real?
as the literature nerds would say.
Nobody's
pretty
gonna
much
know
that.
that word.
Yeah, but we got to teach our audience a new word. And then you can also was that in the V for Vendetta speech? It started with a V, so they got to use that. In there.
I don't know, but anyways,
feel like it
plausibility in anime, things that aren't real or are real. How do they play into the aspect of your enjoyment? I mean, say you have a show and like the Nisekoi bull crap where people just get blown through walls, or Nichijou where whenever the girls get bit by dogs, they shoot laser beams out of their mouth.
Well, that's pretty believable. I've seen that in real life.
Wait, so people shoot laser beams out of their mouth?
Yeah, it's the shoop de whoop.
It's
Welcome to 10 years ago.
Shoot that oop, shoot that oop.
But what about you, Sam? Like, how does plausibility play in the anime for you?
To me, it's like I don't know. I'm not that. I guess I'm not that nitpicky. Like, and I'm not trying to like talk shit, but like, I'm not really that nitpicky like Quokka is. So like, and it's okay to be nitpicky. Like, I don't care if you are. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to enjoy something, because there are some people out there who it bothers, and if it bothers you, it bothers you. It's like, it don't matter. That's okay too. Like, if you can't enjoy it properly, then don't watch it. You know what I mean? For me, I don't think plausibility really has an effect, unless it's something like, it has to be really stupid.
So, like, let's say a character just does a 180 and changes how they think. Wouldn't that bother you? Because that's connected to plausibility.
that's
That's
true.
not really plausibility. That could
is.
fall under bad writing.
Well, no, that's what plausibility is. Like, you need to avoid those pitfalls of bad writing to maintain plausibility. So if you have like a plot hole or some crazy fucking twist that doesn't make sense.
Okay, I see. So
then
you're
it's gonna
expanding the
fuck up
concept
plausibility.
into the writing. Okay. I see where you're going with this.
I can, because
We're not just talking about, can I jump 10 feet? Like,
no, that's
because if it makes
it's
sense in the
basics
world, then
of-
it makes sense.
Establishing rules for the world early on and then following them.
okay. So Nick's question to me is, would it bother me if a character was a certain way and completely 180'd and did the opposite? Yes, that does bother me actually, because it happened in IBO, in Iron Blooded Orphans, with Kudelia. Like, she was written to be completely stupid, and then some dumb shit happened, some impossible shit happened where she somehow survived a firefight being in the middle of it, and then all of a sudden she's like this badass like leader person when she should have been that in the first place. And it's like, that really did turn me off actually. So yeah, I don't know. It has to be something like kind of like that. Otherwise, in some cases, depending on the show, like it won't bother me.
Yeah, see, that's kind of how I am, because it really has to go into the narrative of the show, as to whether or not I'm gonna be super picky on the plausibility of things. Like take Luluco for example. Great example, actually. What suspension of disbelief? What plausibility? You just enjoy it for what it is, because that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just crazy trigger comedy.
One thing is, it also establishes that immediately.
Yeah, and it establishes that there will be a Kill la Kill season 2, when we don't know, but
Well, it's just like, if like Fooly Cooly has a bunch of crazy shit happen in it, but it does it right from the beginning. If you had like 12 episodes of him just going to normal school, and then suddenly Haruko shows up and pulls a guitar out of his head, that breaks the universe's rules.
Yeah. That would bother me.
To where it's just like, where did this come from? Like,
Things-
this isn't
Things like
make sense within the rule set.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that, which is the kind of thing that would bother anyone, really, I think. That bothers me. But there are other things that I think wouldn't normally bother me, that would normally bother someone like Quokka or Nick even. But sometimes that doesn't bother me.
Like what?
Like I don't know. I just know you guys are,
it's so hard. It's so hard to point out
pinpoint one.
specifics.
You guys are pretty
like,
nitpicky.
right on the
But-
spot.
Sword Art Online, Sam.
It's
Oh
really
yeah,
hard
no,
to
yeah,
do.
that's a good one. Like,
Like how like none
You
of it
feel?
makes sense really. They get mad at Kirito for being good at the game, even though he's going to help save them.
yeah, like that's the thing though, is like, and I don't want to get into this argument again, but you have to remember that Kirito is like a fucking nerd. Like, he knows how to play MMOs, and there are people.
No, but he knows how to hit on all the babes, including his sister.
Okay,
Gotta
so
build that
he's
harem.
so you're mad because he's more of a pimp than you. Okay, moving on. Like,
No, he's not more of a pimp than me, Sam. He is me because I self-insert as Kirito. Get on my level, bro.
oh, Jesus. Okay.
I go to school wearing swords on my back.
I wear all black, dual wield, and I get all the bitches. Just like in real life.
I don't know. It doesn't. It depends. Depending on the anime,
not.
I guess it doesn't bother me sometimes or whatever. I don't know.
A prime example of plausibility for me, anyways. I've talked about it before, but I can explain it a little bit now because we're on the topic. was on Shirobako. It sounds stupid that I get as pissed off as I do about it, but you have this show that's serious about anime production companies and all of that, and it's supposed to be a story about that, and everything is supposed to be real and believable. And then you have people jumping cars 15, 20 feet in the air and sliding them around when they're front-wheel drive hatchbacks. That does not happen, and that bothers me to no end.
Here we go.
What if that is a parody of terrible CG in anime?
What if it's a deconstruction?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Because
no.
they do talk in it about how CG's terrible and the one character does nothing but make car rims.
What if that animator girl actually animated the cars that they drive in Shirobako?
What if it was just MetaMac and you just weren't high-minded enough to understand it?
Okay, are you high-minded? Are you high-minded enough to understand this? I'm going to shove my foot up your ass.
Gonna go Red Foreman on him.
Just red for
You
me.
dumbass.
You dumbass.
What
Guys, here's a question. Have you ever seen the animator girl?
The cars are ironically bad.
Have you seen the animator girl and the cars in the same room? Coincidence?
The
I
girl
think
is
she's
the
animating
car.
them. No, she's animating them while they're driving them. Doesn't really make sense because she's
Yeah,
in the
those
show,
aren't
but-
scenes from Shirobako. Those are scenes from the show that the girl's working on.
Okay.
I'm
think-
going
yeah.
to destroy
I think,
every single one of you.
I think Koga's argument there is pretty stupid, so we should just move on.
It is
Like-
pretty stupid.
Yeah,
But yeah, you establish the world as being real, and then they fuck it up with shitty cars.
Exactly. It's
is
mechanics that don't work. I mean, I kind of get the exciting
Well,
aspect.
she had her imaginary friends too. So
Well, the imaginary friends are kind of like, I guess you could say that they're a little bit of a plot device to where you can see the
they're-
inner struggle that's going on in her head.
Yeah, but
they're
so
the
they-
dolls on
that's
her
just-
desk, but
They
yeah.
serve
that's
a purpose.
just depiction. It's not rules.
No, it's
as
not
far as the
rules at all.
possibility.
It's just
Yeah.
letting us see, the inner workings of her mind between, her yin and yang, I guess you could say. Yin yang, yin yang.
Yeah, so I don't know how that has anything to do with plausibility.
It really doesn't. Good job, Nick.
Okay.
Good fucking job.
I'm saying like they had the imaginary friends, so the cars. Who gives a fuck? Show's not about
Nick
cars.
takes us to new lows every week.
It,
New lows.
And
I'm
the
really
highest
trying
highs,
not
too.
to argue with stupid here.
Dude, you guys have seen Trigun, right? You guys have seen Trigun, right? The show.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you think about Vash the Stampede being a pacifist, despite the fact that he can like wield guns and shit? Like, that's kind of the whole point of the story. But like, does that hurt the plausibility?
no.
And like, despite like he has to fight all these evil
Not-
guys and he doesn't want to kill them, but he's
Not
a pacifist.
necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Or I guess in other shows where the characters like don't want to kill, like Avatar, like they don't want to kill anybody, but
No,
like sometimes
I
you kind of
know what you're talking about, and I have, I think, the perfect example of pointing out how this was handled poorly in, I think it's like, I can't remember what the Japanese name, Aria, the Scarlet Ammo. They go to like a school where they basically become like super cops, right? And it's a high school where they become super cops, whatever. But they have rules for like the school, which is like you don't use weapons against people unless necessary, because they all carry guns and stuff, but you're not supposed to. But then there are scenes where for just normal comic relief stupid bullshit, the main chick just fires her gun a bunch of times at the main character. And it's like, you even stated the rule in the show, and then you blatantly break it for the purpose of a gag.
Oh yeah.
Even though the gag isn't good, but it also goes against the rules that were established. And it's not like one of those, comedy where it's like you do it twice to establish a pattern and then once to break it. But
Yeah, I got you.
They just did it once to break it.
I don't-
Speaking of
I
breaking,
don't
Dragon
think the
Ball
specific-
Z. Dude, they just fucking do whatever they want. And actually, a lot of long-running shonens really don't. They just kind of... I've only seen Dragon Ball Z. I haven't seen Naruto, Bleach, etc. But they... in Dragon Ball Z, like, when a character dies, they just resurrect him with the Dragon Balls. And at first, they only had, like, oh, you can only come back
Well,
from
they
the dead
don't-
one time. And then Goku ends up coming back, like, 20 times or something. Like...
Well, most of those other times he doesn't actually come back to life. It's like he's given access back to Earth for a short period of time.
he still has like the halo
which
and
is
everything.
still cheating.
Yeah,
still
but,
totally cheating.
I mean, those things establish themselves as being weird rules, and they always slowly, like, it's a step up type of a break,
and then like
as opposed to like a totally flipping something where you're just like that. It doesn't work, and then go back. You can't just go back to what you did before you broke the rule. You have to
It was something.
at least continue forward.
It was something
in the
like
beginning of Dragon Ball Z, they can blow up planets. Like Vegeta at like a low level can blow up a planet with his finger, and then later in Dragon Ball Z, they're like 1,000,000 times more powerful. They're not blowing up planets.
Yeah,
Doesn't
because
really
they're
make
turning
sense.
themselves back.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's kind of funny how that works.
Dragon Ball Z
Because
is
Spirit Balls take 4 seasons to cast.
Dragon Ball Z is kind of a weird example. I don't know.
Well, part of it is like they kept forcing what was his name, Toriyama, to keep making more shows, and he didn't want to, so he had to just keep adding on to it.
Keep making them the comics and junk. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor, but
I do play one on TV.
I do play one on TV.
They call me Blackjack. Am I right, Sam? Blackjack.
Oh yeah, Blackjack, dude.
So we're done on that topic then? Is that
Gotta
what you're trying to
reference
say?
some anime there.
Yeah. In conclusion,
What do you guys think are like the most plausible shows? We talked about some bad example. Oh, actually, well,
Like-
I'll say one more bad example really quick.
Are we talking about plausible as in the entire show is reasonable for real life, or that it sticks to its rules?
No, it doesn't. No. It sticks to its own rules. It doesn't have to be real life. Could be. But I mean, like, like what show sticks to its own rules the best, or is a good example? Doesn't have to be the best one, but
Asterisk War?
for
No,
being
no.
bad.
I was like,
I
that's
guess
a
I kind of
joke.
want to talk about that.
Yeah, that was a
Those
joke.
kind of shows where they have a world that is distinctly different from real life, which is totally fine. But then their way of establishing the world is to like data dump you in the first 5 minutes of like an
heavy
intro
object.
that doesn't really answer the questions either. Like with Asterix War, it's like, oh, they set up this academy for like witch people to fight each other with swords, and it's Academy Island, and there's like 6 academies, and they do a tournament, and you're just like, but why? Like, you did all this explaining, but you never even explained it. But you could have just not done any of that and just told the story. You didn't have to even go back and do any of that.
Indeed.
Especially when it's told from like a character to another character that should know absolutely all of this.
Indeed. It's like
That's
it's like
annoying. When
it's
you're
like a
establishing
low
the rules, there's
effort.
bad ways
It's like
to
a
do
low
it.
effort data dump at that.
It's the visual novel way.
Mac, what do you think about the plausibility in Code Geass? Oh man.
I
We can
think
move on
it's
to the next
I
topic.
think it's highly plausible that I need some pizza right now, some pizza butt. You know,
Good
you
answer.
dig, pizza butt. Anyways, next topic.
Real quick, I'm gonna say my best example, Evangelion, because they do. I think they have one of the best like first episodes in the series, and they establish the world and the characters with like clever directing, and it just builds up its world so believably. Like it's rooted in its own rules. It doesn't break anything like that. So if you want a good example of plausibility, watch Evangelion if you haven't seen it yet somehow.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And yeah, Evangelion's not real. It's totally fantasy sci-fi.
Yeah, no,
But
it's
still
it's
very
ridiculous, but
yeah.
it makes
But it's-
sense the way
it's-
they build it up.
Exactly, and it's done by Evangelion, man. So of course it's gonna be good.
Evangelion, man.
Shout out to the Digibro videos where he breaks down the first episodes. Can maybe link them in the show notes.
No, we're good.
No, we're good.
All right, moving on. Audience expectations and pandering. What do
Is
you
that
mean?
like
separate
with
topics.
panties, pandering?
Like, or just some stuff about like shows where they break your expectations negatively or positively, like how things sometimes choose to portray themselves as something just so that they can change it, or bait and switch possibly too,
I'll
because there's
say-
things like School Live, where they
Okay, you just
and
took what I was
Madoka
going to
in
say.
some ways too.
You ruined
Where
it.
they set it up to be super cute and stuff, and then they flip that on you. But then there's other shows where they set it up to be one thing, and they kind of switch you into something that's worse.
Oh,
'cause
you
they kind of just, like,
you mean
baited
kind
you.
of like Dimension W, where they set it up to be good and then it turned to shit?
Yeah, like that could be an example.
Yeah,
Definitely.
kind of like that.
I don't know if that's pandering. That's just kind of bad.
That's
No,
not
it's
pandering.
not
That's audience
pandering.
expectations.
But
audience expectations.
But like I
yeah.
will say, like, I think we've talked enough about Monica and how that definitely did what it did and whatever. But School Live was one
It
where
did things.
where when I was watching it when it was airing, and I was behind like 3 or 4 episodes, and Coke was like, "Sam, just watch it. Don't look it up. Don't look up anything. Don't go on Mal and see any of the rating or anything. Just watch the first episode." And like partway through, I'm like, something is funky. Like, why is that window broken? And then the ending of the episode happened, and you were like, "Shut up!" And then I took a shit. I shit my pants because I was like, I don't know. I literally shit.
Congratulations.
Like, it was just things like that are really fucking cool to me. Like, because
Yeah, where you get thrown for a massive curve that you don't see coming.
Yeah, I like that. That's really
I love that as well.
as opposed to like expectations on like getting too hyped for something and then it turns out it sucks.
Yeah, like
I mean,
expectations of you expecting something to be one way and it's okay in that one way, but then they switch it up on you all of a sudden, and all of a sudden it's greater than what it was. See, that's wonderful. You can shatter my expectations if you do that. But if you
Like
do
High
some
School
Dimension
Fleet?
W bullshit, I'm gonna be salty. I'm gonna be
Like
really
Girls
salty.
Und Panzer Mac.
Girls
High
and
School Fleet?
Girls and Panzer is wonderful.
Well,
High
'cause you
school,
think it's
high
just
school,
gonna be
high
the same
school
way to
fleet.
expect anything out of that though.
yeah.
I don't really
You
expect
get what you
anything.
expect.
Yeah,
Exactly.
If you refer to the episode 46 of our show, growing with anime, I like talk about how like I was afraid to like because like that's the reason why I became so like in my own hut. Like I became like a fucking, what do you call them crabs, the one that go in them shells, hermit.
Hermit?
Crab?
Senjougahara.
Hermit?
Senjougahara Hitagi. Like
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just like, fuck, I'm not gonna watch this. It looks generic as shit. And you know what? Till this day, I'm still like 70% right, but I'm also more open now.
Like,
Like,
you're still not watching Cabaneri, Sam. So
okay, that's
Gotta work on
I
it
mean,
still.
that might be overhyped BS though, so I don't care. But like,
it's not. It's good.
okay, well, I already watched Attack on Titan, so
It's not the same as that though. It's not even close.
yeah, season 2 is good. I like it. Anyways, like fucking, like now I'm more open to try and not do that and just set a generic expectation, and then
So when are you gonna watch Idolmaster?
I'm not, because that shit is dumb. Like,
I am also not gonna watch Idolmaster.
I'll watch it, dude.
Is the
I'll watch it.
ultimate show for like it exceeding your expectations in every possible way. Like you can't go into it expecting as much as you get. And of course, I might be talking that up a little bit because then somebody's gonna go into expecting the greatest thing in the world.
It is literally
That
the
wasn't the
best
greatest thing in the
show
world.
ever made.
Nick is
Now
just
go
saying that
watch.
But-
because he likes to write on Quokka. So
But it's
No, I'm just trying to mess with
you-
Hey,
people.
Nick.
go into
Hey,
it and you're
Nick.
just
How
like,
about
oh.
you get your hands off Quokka's dick over there? Holy shit!
I just love nut hugging so much.
like you go into it and you're just like, oh man, there's all these different girls colored. They're just kind of cute and blah blah blah. You're just like, this isn't gonna be good. And then you're like, by the end of it, you're just like, this is amazing. I just want more time with all of these girls
what's an example?
because they develop the
Well,
characters
it's just
so
like
well.
K-On!
I'm
Right?
saying,
K-On was
like-
the same for me. I thought I would hate K-On! It was fucking amazing.
So what's an example with you guys of a show where you went into it and you were like, I'm about to be hype, and it was just not good? Because I can think of a couple of recent ones for me personally.
Let's see. I'll scroll through my Mal.
One
I've
that was
I've already
bad.
said mine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Max-
Dimension W.
Dimension W. Oh, I got it. It's gonna make Mac mad. Clannad.
Damn.
Oh man, dude, people are like, Clannad's the best thing ever, and I just watched it. It was it was okay. It had a few good episodes. We had our whole episode with Clannad and Your Line April, so we all know how I feel.
Yeah, you feel
basically,
wrong
my
is
thoughts
how
on
you
Clannad
feel.
is like, I expected it to be like some feels trip where, this super good drama and make me all teary, and it like half did that for about 5 episodes in the second season, and then besides that, it was just a regular show to me. So I didn't see what everyone thought was so special about it.
Yeah, but Nick, you're kind of like, that's kind of weird because you're kind of like a bitch in that sense. Like this,
And you kind of don't give a shit about anything.
yeah, like you like don't cry or have emotion or anything.
Bro, I cried at Your Line April. Fuck you.
Like, why would you cry to that and not?
And when Marnie is there, dude, right?
Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah.
And Gunbuster, which you haven't seen.
No, I'm gonna watch
I was
that
gonna
next
say,
after Habanero and May. I'm gonna watch that.
This season, Joker game like really set me up for something that I really wanted, and it's kind of just
Yeah, have you
Oh,
seen
another one I
episode
saw.
7
become
yet?
something so. It's become something different in that it's just become super episodic. When it started off as like this story about this spy organization, and now it's just like one-offs with each spy, which I mean I get, but it's very different and doesn't work.
Like it's weird because like Joker game has this like really, it has like this really cool spy atmosphere where everything's like ominous, and I like the atmosphere, and I like actually some of the character designs, but like Coca said, the overarching story isn't really there. It's too episodic. If it was like one story, it would be a good show, but it's just like you get a bunch of these character A, character B, character C, and they're kind of like, oh, read a
and the
history
episodes
book,
themselves are also not well done, but that's a different point, really.
Well, they're like up and down. Some of them are hit or miss.
Okay, I got a couple
a
things.
couple of them are okay.
I got a couple things to say. First off, in response to what Coca just said, called it. Number 2 is for me, Iron Blooded Orphans and Concrete Revolutio. Those are both shows that I was hyped for, and just I ended bad. They're just not good.
Dude, I see the art for Concrete Revolutio and I like want to watch it.
Yeah,
and I
it
just
looks
remember
sick.
what everybody says about it. Like
No.
it looks so good.
Dude, Coca, really? It becomes back to plausibility. Okay, it just goes all over the place where you don't even. I had to literally pause it and rewind it a couple times, or like seek back a couple times, because they would show like what year it was and what day it was, and then for like literally a second, and then go away. And then you're like, wait, wasn't he just with the one chick and then doing the thing, or what happened? And then like it jumps around too much and it ends up getting diluted. And I get what's going on, but and another thing too is,
Do you really?
no, actually I don't. I don't get what's going on. You're right.
So
But,
so
like,
in,
that's a
so in other
failure to
words,
deliver
Bones
an
went
experience.
full Bones on it.
Yeah,
because
Bones.
Bones just doesn't know how to do a story anymore.
and Coca,
Yeah.
like exactly what you said.
It's just so pretty.
No, exactly what you said, right? Because
Just watch it on mute.
I watched when I watched the PV for it, I was like, dude, this just looks like a big like homage to like tokusatsu and
yeah.
things like that. Yeah, exactly. And kaiju stuff. And even the art style is a little bit reminiscent of kind of like Cyborg 009 from the 80s, and like the main character even like he's got like that swoosh spike thing going on, and
I hate that hairstyle. I don't like that.
I know it's super like old school and weird.
It's
but-
like poofy. It reminds me of like an 8th grade boy's haircut.
yeah, yeah,
I just get pissed off. Like,
yeah.
cut your damn hair, son.
But like that's what I was hyped for, and I was like, this
Shout
show
out to 8th grade boys.
this show looks like it's just going to be ridiculous and fun, and it wasn't that at all. It was like trying to be serious and complicated and trying to be intricate, and it ended up becoming diluted. Like
Yeah.
Like-
technically the stuff kind of fits together, but it's not fun. It's not like you can't watch it as an entertaining. It's like a unentertaining documentary that's
no, it's like Kingdom Hearts.
it's like reading a book. Like
I
I'm
just-
going to read the dictionary and
I just want to play 1, Chain of Memories 2 and 3. I don't want to play the 5 other side games that come after 2 before 3. Like I'm looking at you, Tetsuya Nomura. Get out of here with your bullshit. Anyways, yeah, that one definitely was a big letdown for me, expectation wise. Speaking on that spectrum of expectation, that was a huge letdown because that could have been really fun and cool, and it turned out to be a poopy poop.
yeah. I'm watching season 2 is actually, they got a little better at not being so confusing. I've only seen the first few episodes of season 2, but it's not, if you really like the art style, then you might like it. Or if you're one of those pipe smoking, fart sniffing people who thinks they're the smartest person ever.
Oh,
then
so
go
like
watch it.
Digibro.
Oh, so like me.
I think he would probably hate that show, actually. I don't know. I don't understand the defense for Concrete Revolution.
You're saying it's a great show to point to be like, you just don't get it.
Yeah, you're just not paying attention, man.
So
it's
yeah.
too deep.
It's a good show to be an elitist, know-it-all fucking snob on.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, you see this imagery. This is clearly a depiction of Jesus and Judas.
What is
And Shakespeare, all wrapped into one.
depiction? This show deconstructs the word depiction. And I'm like, no, get out of here. God, you're a moron.
This is a deconstruction of parallel lines.
Because the
Bro.
characters are parallel in their journeys. And, yes.
But they still cross
pipe.
paths.
Okay, wait. So moving on, kind of. What does pandering mean?
So like
that's
pandering would be
gate.
where you do things purely for the fans, or like you do it
Oh.
for somebody that isn't necessarily attached to what your goal is.
Almost any moe show is pandering. Honestly, like most of them.
Yes,
are.
absolutely.
Harems,
Like the
harems.
as they say with everyday anime, it's basically porn, except it's of high school girls' everyday lives, like the intimate parts of their lives, not necessarily their bodies.
So I suppose
It is
like.
absolutely pandering.
So I suppose kind of moving on to the next thing. Then it's like, have you ever seen pandering done right? And what does that exactly mean to you? Well,
Yeah,
to me,
like
to me, it
comedies.
means sex.
Dude, like Golden Boy
Sometimes.
and Prison School, that's sex pandering comedy,
no,
over the top. It's great.
no, it more.
Panty and
That's
stocking.
not necessarily the case.
A lot of trigger
no, I'd
shows
say
pander
more
to themselves.
Like pandering that's done right would be things like with going to Trigger, with Luluco having a life fiber planet, where it's definitely throwback to the fans of Trigger, and it's for that, and it doesn't need to be a life fiber planet for the purposes of Luluco's story.
Yes, it does.
They did it as the throwback.
It needs to
will-
be a
it
life
remains to be
fiber
seen.
planet.
Maybe it will.
They need to appeal to the nostalgia fags.
It's like there's some visual novel anime like Unlimited Blade Works that goes back and uses the original soundtrack from the visual novel at key points, which is something that has no value to the anime only watcher, but is done specifically for those visual novel readers.
Yeah.
I got you, fam.
It's like it is pandering by every sense of the word. It's
Yeah.
done purely like it is fan service. It's for the fans of the series, but it's not for the for the show itself.
Uh huh.
And going on to that, some people would say all of the fan service in Monogatari is totally justified. I'm not. I mean, I think it's all super sexy, and I love Monogatari because of it. But I can't. A lot of it, I can't see justifying it really story wise.
Yeah, well, some of the stuff kind of makes things tick in the story and kind of gets the ball rolling, but I don't think that 75% of it is needed. Like the infamous toothbrush scene.
Substance.
Why do we need the toothbrush scene? I mean,
It's the rule of cool, man. You need that.
because she wanted to be introduced to Kambaru, and he was trying to bribe her with something that she
Kanbaru?
wouldn't do.
Who is Kanbaru?
Kanbaru.
Who the hell is
She's gonna sell you
Kanbaru?
some Cliff Kanbaru.
Pat Labor.
That's what,
Paid
that's
labor.
what the character.
I'm going into Pat
That's what-
Labor. Take me to the hospital.
Guys, I was playing a character, okay?
Playing a dude dressed as another
Yeah,
dude.
when-
Playing another dude. I don't know.
Kombaru, like there's a scene where he goes over to Kombaru's house.
Oh my God!
And she's
Stop
naked
saying
laying on a
Kanbaru.
bed.
You're
It's
saying it
so
different every
awful.
time.
Kombaru, what is her name?
It's Kanbaru.
It's Kanbaru.
It's an A?
Yes.
Yeah, it's an A.
I haven't seen her name written in so long. I thought it was an O.
It's Satoshi Konbaru.
Look,
Satoshi
you're all
Konbaru.
stupid. It's pronounced
She
Pat
made
Labor.
perfect blueru.
After this, I'm gonna watch High Bike Ufotable.
Kanbaru.
Kamchatka, please.
Kimchardas.
Kimbe.
So wait, so pandering to fan
But yeah.
service, would that be what? Now I don't. Maybe this doesn't count. Now that I just answered my own question, I guess in my mind. Shut up.
See, normally when people use fan service, they're specifically referring to anytime boobs come out,
So
which
now,
isn't
or butts.
accurate or
Boobs
a
or
good
booties.
usage of the phrase.
okay. So then that answers my question. I was gonna say, when in Food Wars, when someone eats something really good, they get all naked and booby and. But that's
Which-
That's the best part.
an
Both.
ongoing joke in the show though. That's part of it. So I don't know if that's.
It's so oishi that
I mean, it
just
is absolutely pandering, but it works and is utilized in the show in a way that kind of pushes that.
See,
It's hard to
Well,
really
it's
say
because
that
it's because it
tentacles
follows through.
covered in peanut butter are caressing somebody is really like justified.
Well,
in
yeah,
the
I
show.
think that was more
But-
just complete ridiculous joke
for
no
the
reason,
sake
but-
of the whole pandering argument, though, I think a lot of it has to go back to personal expectations because, there may be some people that really like a certain scene that has to deal with a toothbrush in Monogatari or Monogatari or however in the hell you
I
want to
am one
say
of
it.
those people.
Monogatari.
Monogatari.
Yes,
Monogatari.
exactly. But that
That
doesn't mean that pandering in and of itself is bad. That just means that you don't like it. True, because there may be some people that love that kind of pandering.
But it also
So-
doesn't make it good though, too, right? I mean,
It doesn't make it good. Yeah, it doesn't make it good, but it's there for the people that like it.
Yeah, it's
Now,
there because it's
that
like a
being-
familiar thing that everybody
Oh,
knows.
okay,
If they
yeah.
use like character archetypes like sundays and stuff, like that's pandering.
But that
Not
being
really.
that being said, though,
Once again, Nick misses the point entirely.
It is pandering. It is pandering. Character archetypes.
that being said,
Go ahead, Mac.
too much of that kind of pandering can really ruin a show. I don't really see an issue with it as long as it doesn't take up too much of the time that the show has to progress the plot and develop the characters, which arguably some pandering can develop characters in some way if you have some sort of strange toothbrush fetish, which you very well may. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So
Because
this,
there is
so
ways
you're-
to use pandering to serve a secondary purpose, and that's normally where it will fall as fan service or pandering, where it doesn't support the main purpose of the show.
yeah, and
But it
as
can
I
still
said,
be utilized to
I personally don't have an issue with it. Me personally, I don't. As long as it doesn't ruin the show. Now, if the show is 100% pandering, okay, have at it. I'm not going to watch it then. But as long as pandering is done tastefully, much like blood and gore and sex jokes and all that other shit, I don't see a problem with it, personally.
Yeah, like I love some anime butts.
So in conclusion, it's kind of like our answer, kind of like with plausibility. It's kind of like it kind of depends on the show, and then it kind of depends on how far it goes. And
Well, yes and no. I mean, the show kind of roots itself into what it wants to do with the whole plausibility thing. Pandering really comes down to more of personal preference, in so much as long as it doesn't interfere with the core story itself or the core characters. You get where
So-
I'm going?
yeah, so I guess my question is, what's an example where there was a thing of pandering or something, and it ruined it for you?
Pandering that ruins something.
Any show that I rated poorly. Um, let's find out. I'll scroll through
I would
my
say
list.
in Kana from last season, where he comes back to his house at the end of each episode, and the neighbor girl is like half naked in her room that has a window facing his every single time,
Honestly,
and she gets embarrassed.
I've-
It's
I've-
just like, what the fuck is the point of this?
I've got an example of that, and a lot of people are going to hate me for what I'm fixing to say, but I might as well say it. It's a show from this season, and probably part of it is because I expected something a little bit different, but I got to say that pandering pretty much ruined Bakuon for me. It absolutely ruined it.
Oh, dude, it made it better. Bakuon is like the second funniest show this season besides Mayoiga and Tanaka-kun.
No.
Dude,
All I
you didn't
hear is
like when they
stupid.
wash their motorcycles with their titties? How do you not like that?
I came
just
into
brilliant.
I came into that show expecting something else. I like girls in bikinis rubbing their boobs all against motorcycles with soap and suds going everywhere as much as anybody else does. But that wasn't what I was expecting from that show.
Mac, you got to lower your expectations all the way into the dirt,
See,
and then no show
Nick,
will ever disappoint you.
See, Nick, you need to raise your intelligence level and have an intelligent conversation
Dude,
on the podcast.
Bakuon is intelligent, though. They're like,
What
at one point, they're
needed
like,
to be was K-On! With motorcycles.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Bakuon
what
needed
I was
to be
gonna say.
K-On! With motorcycles. That's
That's what I-
exactly
It
what
is,
it
but it
needed
has
to
more
be.
fan
Why its
service.
logo looks exactly like K-On!'s logo.
Yeah, and then
That's
they
'cause it
just
sells.
they went and ruined it with excessive pandering, and that is a prime
well,
example.
you're thinking of fan service, which is a part of pandering. But like,
Exactly. Your argument is null
Yeah.
and void.
well, that's just a small.
You're talking
part
about
of it,
this
yeah.
other thing that's exactly the same.
So I can
It is the same thing.
think of one.
Well,
that,
so is character archetype.
I can think of one where it was really stupid, too. Kind of wrapping it up here, but in possibly like the worst arc of Sword Art, the Alfheim arc when the tentacle thing happened with Asuna with the monsters,
What about
Yeah.
the filler arc in
Yeah.
season 2.
that was stupid.
How about all of season 2?
How about all of Sword Art
How about
total?
Yeah.
you guys are dumb. You guys are stupid.
Careful where you step. I actually liked Mother's
You know,
Rosario.
somewhere-
Of course, Mac liked that. It had feels.
Yeah, Mac, you liked the one part that had a little bit more story to justify all the stupid bullshit.
No, I
don't
said I
understand-
liked
I'm
Mother's
I'm sorry,
Rosario.
I just
Its
don't
goals.
understand what the bullshit part was. I'm having trouble.
Kirito's still the one that saves the day,
What's-
even though it's Asuna's story.
So
Kirito makes the fucking super little stupid camera web thing. He's the one that holds off the people that are going to beat the boss. It still ends up being Kirito saving the day when it's not even his arc.
he's a badass. What are you mad?
But you
Got
like
him.
it just because there happen to be some kids in comas.
No, I just like it
I
'cause
don't-
it's cool. Like I don't know.
I genuinely like the story of that arc. I genuinely did. I don't think it was
the fact that there were
perfect.
kids in comas. It made you feel deep and emotional.
It did make me feel deep and emotional. That ending was very satisfying.
It was so like just thrown on it so that Sword Art could say that it's deep and emotional.
It wasn't. There was nothing thrown on. This was all taken from source material that was already made.
It's like when you take, it was thrown into the source material.
it wasn't.
Like
the
I don't
dude
know how that
just-
changes the argument.
The dude writes. The dude's just writing a story, and then they took it from the story. He didn't throw anything in. I mean, he's just making more story.
Well, he wrote it. That's how you. I don't understand like what your argument is.
I don't. Your
Can't-
argument is stupid. You're just saying.
Can't
Oh,
check
It was
up
thrown
lists.
into the source material.
that
too.
doesn't make. Just because something is thrown in doesn't mean something can be thrown in and still be good. Like
Yeah, in this case, it's not though.
by your opinion.
by your opinion.
which is correct.
That's like your opinion, man.
See,
Well, no, okay. I'm saying like if a show suddenly tries to get good after being bad for so long, it's not good. It's just fucking not. Like
It wasn't trying to get good. That was just what he wrote.
It was trying to be a deep story,
it
me
was trying to
specifically-
appeal to our emotions when they already took too long to get there.
and it was weak.
let me just break all of your minds right here. What if Sword Art was deconstructing the meta and doing pandering for people who love feels? Boom. Mind
my
blown.
God.
Look,
Oh,
I'll-
Take a drink every time we say deconstruct in this episode.
look.
like anime that just decided to throw a rape in for no good reason.
Oh yeah, God! Every single
Asada-san.
villain in that show was rapey.
Asada-san. Asada-san. Can I
Like,
get some
it tries
carne
to add the sympathy
Asada?
factor, but it doesn't develop anything properly. Like there's certain things. I'm trying to think of an anime that
Okay,
did a rape story properly, and Monogatari did
properly.
in its first scene where you find out that Senjougahara was almost raped as a child.
What about Perfect Blue?
And-
Okay, but-
it wasn't
Kinda.
the rape that was the important part of the story. It was the whole falling out of the family for the fact that she didn't allow herself to be raped.
Okay, I just gotta.
And how she blamed herself for tearing her family apart.
And I just gotta say this.
While the rape itself, so token.
Man, you have really bad pauses when you talk. Okay, anyways, like I just gotta say this. I'm not completely disagreeing with what you're saying. At all. I understand. And that makes sense, what you're saying. However, it's pretty frustrating to get ridiculed for liking it. And I think like
Well, we're not directly ridiculing you for
I
liking
don't ridicule
it.
you for liking it. I ridicule it.
You
for
can
being
like
bad.
anything you want.
except you are.
Go
Except
for
you
it.
are. But anyways, like the thing is like
implicitly maybe, but
the thing is like I don't
Not really.
I don't think like none of that
If you
bothered
feel bad
me.
for having bad taste, that's not
Sam,
our problem.
we're only doing this to you because like we know you. I'm not gonna go up to some random guy and be like, "Oh, you like this show? Fuck you."
No, I know, and
Like,
you guys-
I'm not
You're
gonna do
regular
that.
Yeah.
Magic High School. Fuck you.
No, sure, and you guys are just fuckers and stupid idiots, but who cares? Anyways, like
Gee, thanks.
no, not you, Mac. But like the thing is like I don't think that's I guess that goes back to like the expectation thing is I didn't when I started watching Sword Art, it was already ridiculous from the beginning. They all got locked in this fucking game. You know what I mean? So I kind of watched it with that in mind the rest of the way, and it just every moment in every episode in the beginning was just super clutch. And then from then by the time that Aincrad was destroyed and the game was over, from that point on, I already was attached to the characters, and now I'll just watch anything they're in. And maybe
And by then, they had already broken their established rules a bunch of times.
okay, that's a nitpicky thing that I just don't give a fuck about with that anime. Like it's
Well, I was just saying, people die when they are killed, and he suddenly Kirito comes back to life.
I also have a problem with
Oh,
Because
yeah, you get-
Asuna loved him. Because Asuna loved him.
that's
No, he gets
man,
killed
that's-
in the first season, and then like he didn't die. Like, oh, your character died, but you're not dead.
I
for some
mean,
reason.
Yeah,
yeah,
you have
that's
0 HP.
Look at
but
that
you're
plot
still
armor.
fighting.
no, and I totally I can feel that because I do have a problem with that too. But
All they had to do is have it not go to 0. That's all they could have had to do to fix that scene.
yeah,
But no, it had to go to 0.
What about that one guy who was dying in like episode 2 and he refused the potion? What the fuck was that?
oh,
You guys
when they were
remember that?
fighting
They're fighting
the
the
He
boss.
was just done.
when
man.
they were
The guy's like,
fighting
nah,
the-
man, I'm good. He dies.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I don't know. I guess I just enjoyed it for what it was.
No, I
And-
liked it when I watched it, and then I look back and I'm like, well, that was really badly written. But
and I
And
and
there
I
was that one fight where Kirito's fighting people and he like regens his health faster than they can hurt him. And then like he never regens health again in the rest of the show.
well, they skip so many. They skip
All
all
right,
the training.
this
they
is
skip all
going
the-
a little bit
whatever.
too far into Sword Art,
Yo, let me talk about my fucking
Technicalities.
shows, man. Let me talk about one at least, real quick.
but no,
Expectations.
it's time for final thoughts.
Well, that'll be my final thought
Yep.
then.
okay, my final thought is SA was fucking cool, and I don't give a fuck. You're all stupid, except for Mac.
Okay. My final thought is you should send us pictures of Inaba because Inaba Himeko is best girl ever and I will love you forever.
And then
You do
Photoshop
that.
Mike Dicka's face on it.
Yes.
Please don't. No.
Specifically
no,
the scene
no,
of saying, I've masturbated to you too.
no.
That's
Please.
important.
No.
And give him a magical wand because he deserves it.
No.
But yeah. Guys, this Friday.
I got one final thought though. We didn't mention school days this episode, and that was like super pertinent to the topic. I don't know, you guys haven't seen it yet, but everybody who hasn't seen
If it
School
was, you
Days
should talk
needs to
about it.
watch it. I tried to, but you guys kept talking about Sword Art Online, so whatever. Anyway, School Days is it's like a harem deconstruction. Take a drink, everybody. And it's one of those shows that your expectations are one way going in. You think it's going to be shit, and then it's not shit, and then it is shit, and then it's not shit. It's one of those crazy shows that really fits this topic. And if you like harems and you like romance, you need to watch School Days just to see those ideas that School Days puts forth.
So it's like it exceeded your expectations when you started watching, is what you're saying.
It was weird. Yeah, it kind of did both. It exceeded and didn't meet.
You know, we were talking about that like 20 minutes ago. You could have brought it up.
Yeah, and I was trying to jump in, but I didn't have a point to do it.
There was like a huge pause between that.
But
and
that's
then-
my final thought.
So
Everybody
anyway,
watch
this
School Days.
Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday we'll be streaming on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific. There'll be more info on Twitter, or just subscribe to us on YouTube and be looking for it.
What's the date?
And we're gonna have one other thing. Oh yeah,
The
ReZero
27th.
actually has turned out to be pretty good. I'll stick my foot in my mouth on that one.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't know if it's necessarily gonna be good by the end, but it's definitely
not.
better than it was.
Some says everything's gonna be bad.
So I've been Quokka. With me has been Mac, Nick, and Som. And this has been the Anime Summit Podcast.
Don donuts, don daiko.
If you like the show, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Anime Summit or leave a review on iTunes.